Hey, everybody. This is Will Stiverson, National Director with Consumer Energy Options. On behalf of CEO, myself, and Nate, we want to thank you for taking time out of your busy day to be on these conference calls. We know that people that are staying plugged into these conference calls and our training calls are those that are having typical consistent production, and consistent production means new paychecks. So, again, thank you for being on the call. Just another quick announcement. Nathan and I both do team training calls. Nate's is on Monday night at 9 o'clock. I have them on Tuesday nights at 9 o'clock, and that's Eastern Standard Time. So you guys will have to do the math to figure it out if you're not on Eastern Standard Time. And those have been pretty cool. They're just discussion calls. They don't have the formal training that Nate and I do on these Tuesdays at 1. So I would highly recommend that you get on either Nate's or mine or both on those Tuesday nights. In addition to that, for those of you that aren't aware, we have been doing a lot of business through our direct energy portals. They're very easy to use, and they pay very fast. And we have them both for business and for residential. Residential pays upfront commissions, and if you were to submit an account today, you'd get paid on next month's commission run. So we have a lot of people that are getting very fast checks, helping people out, and we also have our Nest programs that have been possible. But one of the things, we go over this every single week, but why would somebody want to join CEO? And the main reason for me is there's absolutely no cost to get involved. We're a recession-proof business that people are unconsciously and unknowingly paying for. We're not adding any cost to what they're already doing. In fact, we help save them money. In addition to that, we get paid so many different ways. You have the ability to go out and be a personal producer, but where there's a lot more flexibility in income, and it's actually, frankly, more fun, is building a team. And you have the ability to go out and get customers yourself, and to be able to override customers as people on your team as you develop them and develop leaders. In addition to that, one of the things that we like to talk about too is make an extra $500 a month out in the world. Like if you wanted to invest some money, you'd have to have about $120,000 to make $500 a month. And if you reach that senior consultant level in our CEO system, it's very easy to do. So if you're not a senior, get with your senior, regional, or national and figure out how you can get there. In addition to that, if you're brand new to CEO and you're trying to figure this deal out, we recommend as a company that you go out and get your first 5 customers right away, plug them into our direct energy portals. One of those 5 can be your own. The other 4, we ask you to try to get the low-hanging fruit, your best friends, family members, whatever, just so you can get that experience. And we also have a basic training in the back office that there's a blue button right above our leaderboard. So if you click on that, it'll take you right to a 26-page PowerPoint presentation. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes to get through. So go ahead and check that out. And if you have any other questions, like I said, reach out to your senior, regional, or national director, and they'll be able to help guide you through the way. So without further ado, it's about 1 o'clock. I just want to hand the reins over to our national director, Nathan Matlich. He always has a lot of exciting things to say to expand our brain and help us grow in CEO. So Nate, without further ado, it's all up to you, my man.
All right. Thanks, Will. You always do a nice job getting us started and giving us the overview on why someone would want to be involved with Consumer Energy Options and why we continue to stay excited just about what we have here. I'm just going to go ahead and mute out all the lines, and we're going to jump into the conference call today. Today I'm going to cover how to create endless referrals that help grow your business. So like many of you know, I do a lot of reading. I'm a big fan of personal development, and some of the most successful individuals across the United States, they know, understand, and teach others that if you truly want to live a level 10 life, if you truly want to be ridiculously successful, if you want to be a millionaire, if you want to, whatever it is, if you want to lose a ton of weight, if you want to be a better father, a better mother, whatever it is, that many of them understand and teach that it all comes down to personal development. And first you develop yourself into a level 10 person, and then you're able to achieve a level 10 success. And so what I've put together here is just a couple things, a couple action steps, a couple action items that you can do on a regular basis to help create additional referrals and ultimately find more success, grow your business, those sorts of things. And one thing that I found that's universally true, throughout any part of the United States, unfortunately, is that it's very easy for you, for myself, for anyone to kind of slip into a life of mediocrity. Whether it's, working that 9-to-5 job that makes you feel like you're slowly dying inside every day, when you go to work, or whether it is all the temptations that, keep me personally from going to the gym as much as I want to, or whatever it is. And what I've really decided is that the vast majority of society is really one skill short of massive success. You could be the best artist on the face of the earth, but if you don't know how to get out and market yourself and do art shows and share your art with the world, no one will ever recognize and therefore pay you as if you are the best artist in the world. You could be, the best doctor in the world, but if you're working in, the wrong hospital or clinic, or if you don't have the financial support, or if you don't have the appropriate tools, you will never be able to perform as the best doctor in the world. And so it's really just taking a little time to figure out, what you're really good at, and also figuring out that one skill that just kind of holds you back a little bit. That, if you're making, $1,000 a month with Consumer Energy Options, what is that skill that you need to work on and develop that will allow you to get endless referrals, grow your business, get out there, bring on, grow your team, sign up some more homes, sign up some more businesses to reduce their energy costs. And so, oftentimes it can be boiled all the way down to, the one skill that you might be short of is just taking action. Boiling it all the way down to the most simple thing, and that action could be, if you're trying to lose weight, it could be, that action could be just going to the gym and figuring out what you need to do to incentivize yourself to get to the gym 3 days a week, 5 days a week. If you're that starving artist, what kind of action would you need to take in order to get your art out to the world? Well, maybe it's going to every single art show possible and showing up, taking action, picking up the phone, making connections. And, I think in the energy business with Consumer Energy Options, oftentimes that quote-unquote one skill short of success is just having the fortitude to every day immediately wake up and pick up your phone and call 10 people and talk to them about either, signing up their energy bills, getting a Nest thermostat at no additional cost, or joining your team. That one skill short of success could be, going to, a minimum of 2 networking type groups or events every single week, a Chamber of Commerce, a Rotary Club, BNI, Business Networking International, or some other form of networking type group, or even, volunteering with some sort of nonprofit that gets together, at least once a month. And so, as we're trying to figure out how can we create endless referrals and be able to constantly grow our business, I think first we need to take a look at what we do on a daily, weekly basis and figure out, okay, what is that one thing that I'm not doing right now that if I did consistently on a weekly basis, or better yet, a daily basis, that would help me grow my business and ultimately get more of those referrals, get more of those, those clients. I know personally, I've decided that I need to take massive action And so every week I pack up my calendar. I'm part of a networking group. We have breakfast every Thursday morning. I go to as many chamber events as possible, Chamber of Commerce. They have after hours get-togethers. They have lunch get-togethers. They have presentations, along with a couple other networking groups. But I've decided that if I, every single week, if I go to at least 2 networking groups or 2 events, then I find that I'm getting in front of all the people that I need to, and that I'm ultimately finding the success, that I'm truly looking for. The next thing that I would like to talk about is when people approach you and ask you what you do. It's so easy to tell them, "Oh, I'm in the energy business," or "I'm a stockbroker," or "I'm an insurance guy," or "I'm a real estate agent," or "I'm a factory worker," or "I'm an electrician." And I would really encourage you that if you're truly trying to create an endless stream of referrals, people don't really care what your job title is, but what they truly care about is how you help people. So, for example, when people ask me, "Nate, what do you do for work?" Oftentimes my response is, I help homes and business owners reduce their natural gas and electricity bills. Literally anytime someone comes to me and they're complaining about their electricity bill being really expensive, their natural gas bill being really expensive, their business phone and internet bill being really expensive, I tell them, guess what? I can help with that. I can help reduce those costs. And as soon as your friends, family, business associates can understand how you help people and what the ultimate benefit is, that is truly when the dots are connected and they say, "Oh, I want you to help out my sister. I want you to help out my brother-in-law also. Nathan, I'm going to send you a couple referrals. You helped me get a better rate on my gas or electric bill, business phone and internet, whatever it might be. I have a couple referrals because I think you could probably help them out also." So just that paradigm shift of when you're out talking to people, don't say who you are or what job title you have, but rather talk to them about how you help people. Just last night, Will and I, we were. I had my training call and had a couple guys on there, and Will was with me, and Matt Hirschenberger even talks about this a lot. And instead of saying I'm an energy broker, I'm an energy consultant, Matt Hirschenberger and Will's adopted this, and I use this also now. Is when people ask me what I do, a great response is, Will thinks it's a little corny, but it works. Is ultimately saying, telling someone that every time I turn on the lights, I get paid, or every time my friends, family, or business associates turn on the lights, I get paid. And it's a simple action that everyone across the United States does on a daily basis, is turning on those lights. Very simple, and it's broken all the way down to what the benefit is to me. Obviously getting that paycheck for a simple action, and ultimately that description has allowed Will, has allowed myself, Matt Hirschenberger, and anyone else who uses it. It really allows us to have the question come back to us of, wow, that's really interesting. How does that work? And it gives us the opportunity to explain a little bit more about what we do, and oftentimes find other individuals who, guess what, they want to get paid every time the lights go on, every time the furnace goes on, every time that your heat kicks in. So just breaking it down into talking about how you help people and what the benefit is will really help those referrals start coming in. When it comes to gaining customers or bringing on customers, there's a couple of different ways you could do it. As far as I could brainstorm just myself, there's referrals, networking, public speaking, social networking, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, things like that. There's advertising, and then there's direct mail. And I would say that out of all of those ways in which you can go out and try to acquire customers and connect with potential customers. I put it in order of importance, with referrals being absolute number one, networking number two, public speaking number three, social networking number four, and then in this business, it's all about hand-to-hand combat. I wouldn't go out and spend a bunch of money on advertising or direct mail, because we find the most success when we say, hey, I don't want to tell you about what I do. I want to show you what I do. Grab a copy of your bill. Let me show you. And that's how we're finding the most success. So if you can figure out how you can use some of these different tips, tools, action steps today to drive up those referrals through networking and posting on your Facebook or LinkedIn, asking people if they want a Nest thermostat at no additional cost to them, that's really going to help drive up your referrals. The next thing I want to talk about is one of the books I was reading talked about that the number one reason why small businesses fail is because they do not stay in touch with either their customers or their prospects. And so when I talk about, going to networking groups and Chamber of Commerce events on a regular basis, I'm consistently staying in front of my referral base. I'm consistently staying in front of my customers, and I'm consistently asking for referrals from my sphere of influence. That's a phenomenal way of doing it. Another great way is if anyone's even a little bit tech savvy, there's different email marketing programs out there where, MailChimp or Constant Contact, I think some of them have a free version. It's really easy to take all of the emails of your past customers and your friends and family and dump it in there. And I would highly encourage everyone to think, hey, what if I sent out an email blast to everyone I know and all my past customers once a month, once a quarter, at least, twice a year or something, just to stay in touch with them. And it gives them the great opportunity to see that you're proactive, that you're reaching out, that you want to stay in touch. Maybe you're providing them some, energy market intel. Maybe you're talking about, in the Midwest and the Northeast, how, they can get a Nest thermostat at no additional cost, if they sign up with Direct Energy. It's things like that, showing up, staying in front of people, networking, email marketing, and even Facebook, Facebook, LinkedIn, any other type of social networking where you're constantly, maybe once a week or once a month putting up a little info about, what we're up to. All great ways to continue to generate those referrals. I mean, shoot, Stephen Bream, he's on the phone here with us, is doing a great job on his way to getting promoted to regional director. The way that he and I connected is I literally just put up a post on, I think, either Facebook or LinkedIn, just saying that I was looking for some premium talent, or I was looking for individuals who wanted to make some extra money or liked residual income. And Stephen reached out to me, and lo and behold, here we are, maybe a year or so later, and Stephen's doing well for himself and, creating that residual income that he wanted to build. So one of the reasons why I'm finding that success is I'm finding ways of constantly staying in front of all of my contacts that way. Another thing that really is going to help you truly drive referrals and truly drive introductions and people really understanding who we are, what we do, how we help people, and what the value is keeping it simple. And Matt Hirschenberger, his favorite quote, or one of his favorite quotes, I think, is, simplicity is the highest form of intelligence. And, I've had a lot of different careers, ever since I graduated from college, high school, some of them even being where I was selling complex electronic medical records to large hospitals and healthcare institutions that, it's a piece of technology, yet it has to integrate with how the doctors go about their daily schedule and integrate with all the procedures and everything else that they do, and very detail oriented. And luckily I enjoyed a nice bit of success when I was doing that for about a year and a half. And I found that the more simple I kept my presentation and communication with ultimately the buyers of these electronic medical records, and the more I talked about the benefits, the more success I enjoyed. And so, Will talks about how anytime he gets together with someone, wants to bring him on board as a new consultant, if they start asking him a bunch of questions and they want to talk with him about what we do and the ins and outs of deregulation, we'll kind of, in a good way, gives them a little bit of a stiff arm, a little bit of the Heisman, and says, hey, well, I don't want to tell you about what I do. I want to show you what I do, because you truly won't understand what we do and how simple it is unless I show you. So let's get together, bring a copy of your bill. Let's meet at the coffee shop. I'll bring my computer. Now we have the Direct Energy online, residential portals for sign up, and Will ultimately just sit down with his customers, or sit down with someone that wants to join Consumer Energy Options. Sits down, looks at the bill, says, hey, traditionally you pay between $350 and $750 a year for your gas or electric. What if I could give you a Nest smart thermostat at no out-of-pocket cost to you? It's going to save you 10 to 12% on your heating bills, 15% on your cooling bills. And, oh, by the way, we're going to fix your rate so you're paying about $400 per year instead of having that range of between $350 and $750 a year. And grabs their bill, shows them how he imports it into the Direct Energy portal, signs them up as an agent, and all of this can be done in less than 15 minutes. And the person gets excited, gets a paycheck the next month, gets that Nest thermostat at no additional cost, and Will just keeps it very simple, because guess what? Even though myself and Will and Tom and Fred and some of the other individuals who have been with Consumer Energy Options for a while, who've kind of geeked out and learned all about deregulation, what we've learned is that whether it's a home or a business, all of our customers, the only thing that they care about is it simple? Is it going to save me money? And am I going to be happy after I do this transaction? And the more we can focus on that, the higher likelihood we'll have of enjoying success. So it's having showing the customer the best offers instead of everything underneath the sun, and some of those things, distilling all the way down to the simple benefit that we can provide. Another way to create endless referrals is really establishing yourself in a leadership position or as a leader in your community. And there's lots of different ways that you can do that. Some individuals, they like keeping a blog. They take that blog, they write it, they post it to their LinkedIn or Facebook, and that's how they establish themselves as a leader and as an expert. Public speaking is great. Anytime you can get up in front of your chamber group, Chamber of Commerce, your networking group, if you can get up in front of even an athletic club or organization, parent-teacher, organization, whatever it might be, to get out there and educate people and show them how we're helping people reduce their energy costs. Those sorts of things, establishing yourself as a leader in the space, are really going to help you gain those referrals, and even just socializing and talking with and getting together with community leaders on a regular basis. To kind of parlay from that, I would highly recommend making it a point that every single week, at least once a week, whether it's for breakfast or lunch, pick out who you believe to be one of the most successful individuals in your community. This could be, this could be the mayor, this could be, a senator, this could be, some very successful small business owners. It could be a CEO of your, local hospital, whatever it is. I would recommend carving out breakfast or lunch once a week. Make a list of the people that you respect and say, hey, I really respect you as a leader of our community or a very successful, business owner. Say, I'd like to take you out to breakfast. I'd like to take you out to lunch. My treat. I'm trying to grow my business or become a leader in our community, and I'm trying to learn from the best. Would you mind if I buy you a steak dinner? Would you mind if I buy you buy you some pancakes or buy you a sandwich or whatever it might be? Because what studies have shown is that at the end of the day, you truly are the average of the 5 people that you hang out with the most. If you hang out with a bunch of individuals who are overweight, guess what? You're probably going to be overweight. If you hang out with a bunch of individuals who run, bike, swim, go to the gym every week, guess what? You're probably going to be in really good shape. And ultimately, if you're hanging out with and taking the most successful individuals in your community out to breakfast, out to lunch, hanging out with them, learning from them, guess what? You're probably going to be the average of all of those individuals that you're spending a lot of time with. So think about it. Pull out your notepad, write down the people, in your community that you can pick up, give a phone call, cold call, send an email to the 10 people that you want to take out to breakfast or lunch, and learn all about them. I would recommend asking them great questions, and 2/3 or 3/4 of the time just listening and learning all about them. And it'll just be natural that somewhere in the conversation they'll probably ask you, hey Nate, what are you up to? Hey Mark, hey Steven, hey Rodney, what are you up to these days? Tell me a little bit about yourself, and it'll be a great natural way of being able to hopefully develop some referrals that way also. The next point I want to make is a lot of people might think that it's counterintuitive, but it's truly a great way of accelerating your success. And the only way that you can truly accelerate your success is through accelerating your failures. I've been in sales and business development and marketing and all those types of things over the course of my life. One thing that I've learned is that you're not going to get yeses along the way, but there always seems to be a certain ratio of yeses to nos, or the amount of success versus the amount of failure. And so, if I find that, this isn't a hard fact or number, but let's say I find that for every 10 people that I talk to, I find that there's 5 individuals that are interested in consumer energy options. Maybe 3 of them become customers, and 2 of them want to join my team so that they can do what we do. So if you have a 1-to-1 ratio or a 5-to-5 ratio, if you are able to accelerate your failures, because for every 5 no's you get 5 yeses, accelerating into and past those failures are ultimately going to or allow you to accelerate your momentum into all of those yeses or all of the success that comes with it. The added benefit along the way is, guess what? For every single one of those no's, for every single one of the failures that you come across in our business and talking to people about what we do, you're gonna be able to hone your skills that much more. You're gonna be able to get your pitch down that much better. You're gonna be able to craft how you communicate the value that we do in saving people money and helping individuals create additional income for themselves. And so it's very counterintuitive, but I highly recommend that you accelerate your failure. Get out there, talk to everyone that you know, take 10 times the amount of action as what you are taking today in talking to people, and that will ultimately help you find, hopefully 10 times more success. And with that, you have to be responsible for all of your actions. You gotta take responsibility for all of your successes, for all of your failures. And the funny thing is if you ask someone that has the attitude of, bad things always happen to me, I'm such a victim, why did this bad thing happen to me again? Well, if you ask that individual, hey, has this happened to you before? Have you has your house gotten broken into before? Have you broken your ankle before? Have you have you lost money gambling before? Have you made silly decisions after drinking a bunch of alcohol before? A lot of these individuals that have this, oh, poor me, mentality, bad things always happen to me. At the end of the day, it's probably because they're not owning up to all of their decisions. They're not owning up to their success. They're not owning up to their failures. And as soon as we accept that we are the only individual that can truly steer our ship and truly be responsible for the success or the success that we achieve, the sooner off you'll find that you're reaching your goals and things like that. So, wake up, own it, put together your plan. Don't be afraid to wake up a little bit earlier, in the morning. Don't be afraid to stay up an extra, couple minutes at night taking care of some consumer energy options work, because it's those things and really owning it that's going to drive referrals and help you find success. I would also recommend and say ask for referrals all the time. Anywhere you go, old friends, new friends, networking, constantly be asking for referrals. There's been studies done that 90% of individuals that use your product or service that are happy with it say that they would give referrals to the business owner or the salesman or whoever it is that provides that product or service, but only like 15% of individuals ever actually circle back around and ask for those referrals. There's a couple individuals in consumer energy options, some of our regional directors, national directors that are enjoying a lot of success. It's because they're constantly asking for those referrals. In the last part, or a little golden nugget or piece of advice that I would give is that as you go around talking about what you do, who you help, how you do it, use stories. Tell as many stories as possible. Have at least 3 stories on the tip of your tongue at all times. Whether it's one homeowner, one small business owner, one large business owner, of individuals that you've helped with natural gas, electricity, business phone, and internet, whatever it might be, because the way that our brains are wired is truly to understand stories. I think I've talked about this before on one of the calls, but our brains are wired to understand stories. If you look at biblical texts or any other sort of manuscript that has been passed down, for hundreds or thousands of years, it's all in the form of story traditionally. And as much as we want to talk about, we could talk about facts or figures or the specifics of deregulation, every time I get up at a networking event, or anytime I meet with someone, or someone asks me, what I do, while oftentimes they'll say every time I turn on the light switch I get paid, another thing that I also do is I have 2 or 3 stories that I say of just examples of how I've helped someone reduce their gas bill, electric bill, whatever it might be. And when I talk about those stories and I say, oh, we helped this school district, or oh, we helped this manufacturer, or oh, I helped this homeowner in Chicago or Aurora or Palatine or Detroit or New York City or whatever it is, they can very quickly in their mind connect the dots and say, oh, my buddy who owns a manufacturing company was complaining about how expensive his gas or electricity bills were. Or, oh, Nathan, I know the superintendent of this school district. They were talking about how they were really concerned about rising energy costs or trying to trim some expenses from the budget or whatnot. I really need to get you in touch with them because I also sit on the school board. Or telling a story or example of, Rodney helped out a couple condo associations. In Chicago, as there are all across the U.S., there tends to be lots of condos and condo associations. If Rodney said, hey, we helped out this condo association, we signed up their gas, signed up their electricity, saved them about, $5,000 here, $7,000 there, whatever it might be. Whoever you're talking to can immediately connect the dots and say, oh, I live in a condo association, and this condo association keeps jacking up my assessments because energy costs keep going up. We need to introduce Rodney to our condo board or whatever it might be. So just really always have, 2, 3, maybe 4 stories on the tip of your tongue that after telling someone, how you help people or that you get paid every time the light switches go on, you can rattle off a couple of those stories and surely, you'll find that your friends, family, business associates are able to connect the dots a little bit better and provide, hopefully, endless amounts of referrals for you. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and unmute the lines. If anyone has questions, success stories, if you have any challenges that you need help overcoming, now would be the time.
Hey, Nate, it's Will.
Hey, Will.
Hey, I just wanted to throw this out here. And by the way, guys, I'm like trying to wrap my mind around it myself, and the only way I'm wrapping my mind around it is just by doing it. But in my personal opinion, the best thing that we have to offer in CEO is the ability to make money and the ability to get the nest in somebody's hands. And the reason why I believe those two things: one, our team has been very successful at using direct energy and getting paid next month. And 2, these Nest programs, after getting over 100 of them between myself and our team, that there's a lot of value there. And the only way I know of, since we're talking about referrals, to get as many Nest programs and as many customers into CEO is trying to recruit every single person we would consider a customer. And the reason why I say that is this business does not require an education. Doesn't require any type of formal education. That thermostat is so smart. It's smarter than me. You just plug the dang thing in the wall. Cecil Lumpkins, one of our regional directors with the company, his has come in. I can't get Cecil to shut up about it. In fact, tonight on our discussion call, and everybody that's on this call tonight is welcome to be on it, I'm going to interview Cecil about his experience with the Nest. And he replaced his programmable thermostat with the Nest. And I'm just telling you guys, for those of you that might be price conscious or rate conscious or whatever, Consumers Energy right now is at $272. We're at $419. We on our team are selling it all day long, every day, with that big of a spread. And guess what? For those of you that might feel that people are rate conscious and all that other stuff, Consumers Energy has a notation on their bill saying, you've chosen another supplier. You're currently at $419. We're at $272. Give us a call to check it out. Every single person that's chosen a choice program has that notation on their bill. And guess what? We're still selling it all day long. That Nest program has been fantastic. I think the fastest way to get as many in many hands is literally trying to recruit every single person you would consider coming in as a customer. I've brought on my ex-wife. I've got a lot of Constellation customers turned into agents for CEO, and they've signed up their own houses, their own business with the Nest. This thing is like unbelievable. I'm telling you, that tornado is just happening, guys. What would an extra comma check do to your budget every single month with CEO? Just think about that. Think about what does it take to get everybody in CEO something for free They're joining for free, get a nest for free, and they make a check. They're going to put it in their wall. They're going to see how awesome it works. They're probably going to tell every single person they know about that nest once they get it on that wall. It's absolutely unbelievable. So, sorry, Nate, just wanted to add that in there. Great call as always, buddy. Thank you.
Oh, thanks, Will. Always appreciate your comments. They're usually spot on. Any other success stories, questions, ways we can help you guys out?
Well,
right.
guys, I just ended. I just want to say this again, Nate. If anybody wants to find out literally more about that nest and how easy it is to install and some positives, Cecil's going to cover that tonight with his own. It's hands-on experience. It's not reviews from the internet. I can't get Cecil to shut up about it. He's so dang excited about it. I mean, just an awesome thing. If you guys want to be on the call at 9, you're welcome. Just another way to figure out more of what we do.
Perfect. And that's for everyone, that's 9 o'clock Eastern, and it's the exact same phone number and login code as what you dialed today. So definitely jump on. You know, if you want to jump on Will's call tonight at 9, great, do it. I'll go ahead and have another one of my team calls on Monday night coming up here. And, just really, reach out to us. Reach out to Will. Reach out to myself. Reach out to, whoever brought you to the Consumer Energy Options business and ask us, what you need to do to be successful, or, if you're looking for some clarifications, we can definitely help you out with that. And, just get out there and, take a bunch of action and hopefully generate some great referrals after the call today. But one of my favorite lines, we'll see you at the top because the bottom is full. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Have a great day.
Thanks, Nate.
Thanks, Nate.